When I came into your team, I felt broken and isolated after being separated from community of friends and believers. But now, leaving, I feel complete in Christ and in community. And I got this from the girls in my huddle and from the friendships that I made from everyone else. Just the encouragement and the accountability and the love that I was shown throughout the year.
I feel like I started this year angry and depressed. The biggest reason for these things is because of a very long, very difficult trial that Jeremy and I had been going through. It started in October of the year before. So by September, when your team was getting ready to start, it had been almost a year that we'd been sort of going through the fire, and I exhausted my faith and exhausted I just really run out of those resources and come to the place where I was angry at God for being silent and for not answering, for not coming through in those things. I was angry at myself for what role I played in coming into these circumstances. I was angry at Jeremy for the role that he played in getting us into these circumstances, and that anger was really consuming me. Throughout the year, the Lord has shown up, and I've gotten back to the place where I can thank Him. I can be grateful for the blessings that He's given us, and my joy has returned. It's brought me to the place where I can say I'm thankful, and I can say that I'm joyful. And a lot of this was just trials coming to an end, and really the Lord's timing, waiting on the Lord's timing, which was part of the hardest part of what I was going through. While your team didn't directly have anything to do with these circumstances, it was a safe place for me to be where I was. And it was in your team when I had the Kairos moment, when I actually realized and was able to verbalize for the first time, hey, I'm angry, and really had the support that I needed to come out with that and be honest about it to myself, in community, and to be honest to the Lord. And just gave me the love that I needed during the hard times. And that's really what I would say your team's role was in this transformation. So thank you guys for everything. It's been a good year.
I feel like this year that I started out a timid, uncertain pauper, and mostly that's because I was unable to talk with anyone to any great length about their faith or challenge them or talk about difficult subjects in their life or my life. And I feel like that's definitely where I started out. I was uncertain of God's working in my life and God's hand, and just the ways that He was moving and working, and I just wasn't sure, and I was not very confident in that. And I was definitely a pauper. I was very poor in spirit and poor in the way that I believed that God had showed Himself to me, and poor in believing, poor in the amount of faith that I had in who I was in Christ. And that's where I believe I started out. I'll get it right here in a minute. Now I believe that through your team I've become more empowered, a bold, confident prince. I have grown in major ways in just the knowing that I am a son of God and an heir in Christ, and all the things that God is to me and he means to me is just more than I could ever express. And the confidence that I have now, I definitely feel like God works in every single aspect of my life and has worked in marvelous, amazing ways in giving me blessings and just filling my cup to overflowing. I'm also much more bold in speaking to people about the difficult things in their life and the difficult things in my life, and addressing subjects that come up and things that are red flags that I'm able to identify and pick out and talk about more. And I believe that all of this is the growth that I've come through, and that's where I'm at. My name is Jeremy, your team 2010.